What is up everybody, Gifford here and welcome back to another video. And as you can see, it's a bit of a different background. Some stuff is changing at home for me, but anyway, in this video we're going to talk about the gains that I made in April, and you can see there it's $1,129 US, and then we convert that over to roughly just under $2,000 New Zealand. So the agenda is how I made this $2,000 or thereabouts for the month of April 2025, what my broker is, which is Interactive Brokers, and I do my trading from New Zealand. I talk about my strategy at the end of this video and my buy and sell trends that I use, also what websites I use. I'll put them down in the description below, and also some stock picking tips. So continue watching the video and let me know what you think. So obviously anyone can come up here and say they made a lot of money, but here is the proof, and this is the statement there. I've just got around about $2,000. It's now closer with the currency to about 1,900. But anyway, here is my brokerage that you see here. If you were to actually get the statement, see up here, so this is for the month of April 1st to the 30th, and here is a screenshot of my trades that I've been doing, so feel free to have a look at that if you don't understand this. Now this is options trading as well as buying stock straight out, so you might want to have a look at my other playlists and my tutorials if you are interested in that kind of stuff. But otherwise, here is just some proof that I am really trading and doing this from New Zealand. And again, here's the majority of my trades. This is I think the third page, but you can see here that figure that I had in the title is this one here, because once they take away, you know, all my losses and my gains, this is the figure that you get. And for those that have not been watching me, what my target every week is $150, so that's about $80 or $85 US, and I think it's a pretty good target. You know, $150 every week for about 4 or 5 hours work, understanding all this, learning about it. I think that's pretty good, because that is I wouldn't say it's passive income because it's still active income, but to be able to have another income source through trading and something that actually works, because I have been doing this for the last year, 52 weeks, and I was making $50 a week New Zealand, so quite small, but I've now put a lot more money into my Interactive Brokers account to be able to generate more of this while also understanding risk management. So here's my simple tracker here, just to see how I am going and to see if I'm actually meeting my targets. Now we can see here, really simple, yes or no, did I make 84 US dollars every week? Now while this is a target to go for weekly, I will only do my best to do the trades that I think are going to be profitable. Obviously this is real life, they don't always work like that. I do not, you know, I don't know the future of the stock market. I just do my best to understand the percent, like good percentage trades, and then to do my due diligence and then to try to execute those trades. So we can see here in April, this one here must be April, so week 15 to week 18, we can see that I got a fairly big win. If you're wondering why that this does not, you know, kind of add up the same as the title there, it's because it's when you get the payments and how it's all executed, there's a few delays in that. But yeah, that's why I do the statement at the very beginning, because that kind of gives you the overall of when you get paid. But these ones here is just a weekly tracker, but as long as I'm getting my target most of the time, then I'm pretty happy about that. You can see here there is some big up and downs, like this is negative 333 US, this is a positive 363, and then we also got a positive 263 for that week. Some weeks, you know, I don't make a lot of money, or negative. It's just what happens. Here I only made 25 US dollars, but here we can see I made a really good trade the year before, the month before, and this trade here probably flows on to this one here, but I record it. That's why there's two different ways to record it, but I record it weekly when I take it off. The other one is a little bit better because it actually states when the trade is executed, but you know, it doesn't matter in the end as long as you're making money, right? So for those that want to do this from New Zealand, I use Interactive Brokers. Feel free to use my referral code down in the description, and I'd really appreciate that. If you do use it, I do become quite helpful to you if you have some questions about what I'm doing, how to manage the platform. To me, this is the best platform to trade with access to world markets, although I am predominantly in the US market only. It is also one of the cheapest fees here to have access from New Zealand. Now it doesn't have, well, as far as I know, but I don't buy New Zealand stocks in it. That's why I have Sharesies as well if I want to buy that. But in my Sharesies account, I also just buy US stocks. It is important to remember that this is a proper stock market broker. It is pretty serious money in here, and so it does have a negative, is that it has a high learning curve, but if you're going to be using serious money, then you want to be using this broker. If you're wanting to know how much roughly you need, well, you can start as little as about $2,000, but ideally, if you want to start doing some of the strategies and the videos that I make here, you want at least $10,000 to maybe $20,000 of New Zealand capital when you go in there. And feel free to look at the reviews about how safe Interactive Brokers is from New Zealand and go into different forums and ask about it, because account security is a really big thing for me. I don't want to be putting a lot of money in there and then seeing it disappear. This is why I like Interactive Brokers, because I know there's other people in there that have way more money than me and they trust this platform. And I've also looked into it as well. The reviews are good. Real life people reviews from New Zealand say it is a safe platform, and that is why I use it. So what is the strategies to have? Well, I do options trading, and a new strategy that I've been doing for the last year kind of is the moving average trends. Now, that's only a small sentence, but there is a whole kind of walkthrough steps that I have to do to be able to carry that out, and it's not just 1 hour or even 2 hours. It's kind of like picking the stock is like 4 to 5 hours worth of work before I can even trade that. Okay, and yeah, so it's a big thing. I'll do another video of that, and I also use some AI tools to help me, which are paid, so you do have to put some extra money into that if you want to do it. But again, this is serious stuff. This is real life money, and I am serious about this kind of trading and making money in the markets, and it's just what you have to do. You have to pay money to be able to do this if you're going to get serious, because the stock market will literally steal your money from you by showing you what you think are good trades, and it will just take the cash straight out of your wallet, because it will trick you into thinking the stock price is going to go up, or the company, and you have all this conviction in it, and then the stock price just tanks and you don't get paid. So my main place that I hear about stocks is actually here on YouTube. It's a good place. If there's hype around any stocks, you'll just see heaps of YouTubers make videos about it. And I like that, because while, it can be dangerous following other people, I'm not following, I'm just getting the stock ticker symbol and then doing my own research after hearing from them and seeing, yep, is this a good trade or is this not a good trade for me? At the end of the day, I make the decisions. I'm the one that executes it. So, you can put any ticker symbol in front of me, but I'm going to be the one doing the research, and it's on me to to make money on the stock or to lose money on the stock. And I will never tell you what you should buy in. You should also have a plan for yourself. I can just show you what I'm doing, what I think will happen, my opinions, but at the end of the day, you've got to do what's best for you, and you've got to do your own learning as well. And what I do with this is that I build a history of data on these stocks, because they might not be a good buy now, but later in the future, I could be looking into this company. If they, get absolutely smashed down in price, they become undervalued, or if they're overvalued, I sell them. I've got no problems about that now. I'm here to make money in the market. Now, do understand I do have a few trading strategies. So when I do say these things, I do talk about specific strategies. So if you hear me talk about buy and hold really is in my Sharesies portfolio. What I do there is I buy ETFs and some strong companies, and then I buy them periodically, every week, or when there's dips and stuff. But that is totally different from my stock trading account, where I buy and sell or sell options in there as well. So just know that. Have a look at my videos and you'll understand what I'm talking about. And I've also got mentioned here that I will show you my Weebles list. So I'll bring that up somewhere just to show you that I do collect a lot of data from over the years and put ticker symbols in there that I will monitor later. And all I really do is that, I can wait. I can wait to make money, because I've learned that if I am in a hurry, then I will absolutely lose money in the market if I'm trying to rush things. So I don't mind waiting at all. Now, it is pretty difficult and you need a lot of patience, and that will come in time when you start losing money because you're in a hurry to do things and you get pressured to do things. That's when you start learning and actually just backing off a little bit. I have lost some money, it's just what happens. This is what you do if you don't take the lessons at hand by other people that do this. And the stock market is willing to take that quite easily from you. So you got to have some patience. You got to have some dedication if you want this to be for real. And all the stocks that I trade in, I run these through a free website. Now, I do use some other paid websites, but I'm just going to give you some free websites here so you can start looking for it yourself and learn. And yeah, just really start from there. Just put some hours down into doing some due diligence so that later on you can scale this when you have more money to play with. So the first thing I do is that I get the ticker symbol and then I just put it into Google. I write the ticker symbol in there and check out the stock and see what kind of information comes up about it. The main one in Google is really its market cap, how big it is, and also some of the key metrics, PE ratios, the EPS, how the stock chart has been going for the last month, year, 5 years, and an all time. I then move over to a website called Stock Unlock, and this one here has a lot of metrics inside it. So I will look in there and see what they think of the stock. They've got a nice overall number that they have there. I think it's out of 5, so it's a really good indication. And then they've got it into each segments. Now, I've only got the free version, but if you want to get the paid version, it has more metrics for you to look at, and then you can start comparing data, sort of changing the data, compare it from 1 year, month, that type of thing, with those paid subscription sites. The next one I go to is stock analysis. Now, this is really good for having a look at the revenue and the income of the company, how the growth has been going. The data is kind of limited, but at least it gives you about 5 years of data, or in month. If you do sort of not months, quarterly ones, it does give you a decent amount there as well. So this is a good place to look at it. It's got all the income statements in there from the last 5 years, and they give it out for free. The next one is Alpha Spread, and this one here is all about the DCF model. So DCF is discounted cash flow method. It's a really good method for understanding if a company is undervalued or not. Basically what I do is this is a good number to see if my value for the company is the same as as what they think it is, or if I think there's an opportunity here. I think it's undervalued. This will just give me a number to kind of tell me, hang on, I'm in the right place or not. I like to be close to it because obviously this is a proper site, and there's some analysts in there, and they've got their own valid reasons why the pricing is like that. But to me, this is just good to understand if I think I am around about the ballpark. Sometimes if I really have high conviction in it, I won't take that into consideration. But as I've found over the last 5 years, that if I get close to this, my winning trades have been that my value has aligned with this DCF value. So it is a pretty good model, but there is different models out there. Feel free to use whatever one that you think works for you. The next one I use is Webull, and I have this as a phone app, and I check this in Yahoo Finance quite regularly, on a daily basis. And here it's got all the stocks. I think I've got over 200 stocks on watch list, but it has also a group of stocks that I keep, about 4 of them, what I'm doing in my sharesies, what I'm doing in trading. So it's just a good place to see all the ticker symbols. If you jump on my Instagram, you'll be able to see that I post there a lot. Most of it is from Webull, and that's just because it gives me a quick glance of what the market is doing on a day-to-day basis. It also has the options chains in there, so if that's something that you're into, it's easy to have a look. There's a tab there, click options, and it gives you, the puts, calls, and all the weeks, and then the monetary options chain right there for you. Very convenient. And then we have YouTube videos, so you can go on YouTube, look up the company, see what other people are saying about the company, and then building their conviction. And the last one is that you can always go to the company's website and look up the investor relations page, and then listen to the earnings calls. Now, this is really boring because the earnings calls can go for an hour or 2 hours, but in there, the CEO, the senior leadership people of the company, the one that's going to be making money for the company and telling you where it's going, and maybe giving you some gold nuggets about upcoming products or what they think is going to happen, or actually showing that the company's not doing well, that they're going to have some headwinds, and what they're doing about it if you want to keep on investing. And then if the stock price does go down, this could be an opportunity for you to buy when it's lower, but obviously you have to understand the stock price did go down because there is risk in the company now. So there's a lot of work here. This is all free websites, and it's just hours that you need to do if you are serious about this and you want to go investing. I see a lot of people jumping into stocks, using sharesies, just throwing money in there, and it could be small money or it could be big money, but you really want to do your due diligence in understanding the stocks that you buy, because you want this to be a long term. This is a skill, and if you build the skill over a long time, say you're a young person, you've got 20, 30, 40, 50 years to build the stock portfolio. And if you've seen some of the stock calculators in there of how much money that you can get from the stock market, it can be unreal sums of money, and then later on when you have some money of your own, you can diversify that into property or any other thing, into a business, other stuff to really head towards that financial freedom. So getting to some quick stock tips. I don't want this video to get too big because it is starting to now, but anyway, what you want to know is you want to know how much money you want to make before you get into a trade, how much money money you want to lose also within that trade. So that is risk management. If you are going to, bet 100%, you got to understand that if it goes the wrong way, well, you could be losing 5 to 10%. But remembering a stock does move quite suddenly. So if it moves down 10% and then rockets up to 50%, are you going to be okay with that? So understanding those kind of things before getting into the trade. And the next one after that is understanding your risks and calculate it out. So you have to do some maths. If you're hearing that bell over there, that's kind of annoying in the background. I've got my 2 cats here. We've recently acquired 2 cats. So moving on, you want to spend hours to research. Again, it might be too much for you if you're a beginner, but I spend a minimum of 5 hours before I really want to trade in a stock. There's other times where I will just, buy a stock and just to check it out for small bits of money, but guarantee that if I'm putting $2,000, $3,000 in there, I'm going to be spending those hours in there to have a look at the stock, because I don't want to throw good money away. This is good capital that I've built up over the last 4 or 5 years, and I just don't want to throw it away because I'm here to make money. Awesome. Now we've got some cop sirens in the background. This is fantastic. Anyway, moving on, have a process flow, record it and adjust. So that's what my tracking is all about, because I have a process to follow. I'm looking at it, I'm recording it, and I'm adjusting the way I do things. Now for my stock trading, it's pretty set in stone. I'm still learning, but there's a few things there is packed down. I'm really just waiting to get into the trade. For my sharesies, it's the same thing as well, although I have adjusted it because I was doing dividends, but now I'm doing a little bit of dividends and growth and some ETFs as well. So it all changes. That's okay as long as you record it and you give it some time if you want to change those ones. And obviously with the changes, you've got to understand how much you want to make from those changes and how much money you want to lose as well. Talking about that risk management is a big key. The last little bit is I highly recommend that you join investor groups on the stocks that you do. So they'll have individual ones like Tesla groups and whatnot. What other ones? Just the ones that you want to get into. Join those groups so that you can understand, learn more about the company. The higher level groups where they talk about stock marketing, making money, and just what the stock market is doing, how people are investing, so that you can grow your knowledge. And that way, when you throw your thoughts out there, someone will obviously argue with you, but that's okay. Take it as a learning opportunity, whether it's going to benefit you or is it going to benefit your trading, or is it something that you haven't overlooked, or is it something you totally do not understand and think, well, this is some information I need to know, because at the end of the day, you want to be making money. And if you're not making money and you're trying to figure out why this is a good place to have a look at it, to see what other people are doing, especially people that make money in the market, real people, not people just showing you, some random screenshots and say they make a lot of money, but actually going down, having a look at their strategy and seeing if they're making real money and they have real proof of it. Like I'm doing here, when I was making $50, that was real $50, and now making real $150 New Zealand that I get to get out every month. Now, luckily, I have not been in a negative since I've been doing this for the last year, but I started out small and now I'm trying to scale it. So in summary, you can make money from the stock market, and particularly me, in April, it was a really good month. So this does require a lot of hard work. It is a skill which must be learned and developed. I'm not here going to be telling you that I just make money in the stock market, because I have lost quite a bit when I first started to try to get to this far, and you do have to pay some sort of tuition fee to be able to do this. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you've got any questions, comment down below. Feel free to use my referral links if you are going to be investing from New Zealand. I post over on Instagram as well weekly about my stock market news and portfolio, so head over there, and you can also talk to me over there as well. So send me. The trading platform I use is Interactive Brokers, Hatch Invest, Stake, and Sharesies for individual companies, and I use Invest Now for index funds. If you want to start investing, you can use any of my referral codes down below to start your own investing journey if you are from New Zealand. A couple of DMs if you have any questions on that as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video. It truly helps me out. And also subscribe if you're into personal finance, property investing, and obviously my stock market journey. Click this video here for my options playlist if you're interested in that. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.